This is the Paperclipping Roundtable, the scrapbooking audio show that's designed to inspire, educate, and entertain you.
You're listening to episode 223, recorded September 23rd, 2014. Freaks me out and flips my hair.
The Paperclipping Roundtable is brought to you by BigPictureClasses.com. Get 10% off any class with a coupon code you'll find at paperclipping.com/bigpicture.
Hey everybody, welcome to the Paperclipping Roundtable. I'm your host, Noelle Hyman from from izzyvideo.com, from paperclipping.com.
That has never happened.
Well, I know, I got distracted. I was trying to think of how I could fit in something about trying not to live up to people's expectations. And
what? When you think of Izzy Video, you think of trying not to live up to people's expectations?
No, what we were talking about just before we start recording, and you said, Vilna's saying this is going to be an awesome episode, and you're like, well, we're going to, anyway.
Well, I think you just introduced our first guest.
Vilna Furstenberg. Hey, Vilna.
Hey, how are you?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm very good, thank you. Very excited to be here. And yes, very excited about this episode.
It's going to be fun, huh?
It's going to be super fun.
It's going to be a topic that we've done a couple of times. It's something we could do again and again. And it was requested by people in the forums that we do this again. Many people said they loved it. And so, yeah, we're redoing it. I'm not going to say what it is yet, though.
That was a good teaser.
Yeah.
You're getting good at this, Noelle, I have to say.
I leaked the guests before I even really fully introduced the show. I mean, did we say everything we needed to? I'm Noelle Hyman, you're Izzy Video, we're married.
I'm not Izzy Video, I'm Izzy. I'm Izzy, your husband, and also the producer of the show. This is so funny.
You know, I often think of you as Izzy Video.
You do? That's nice.
Yeah.
That means I'm doing a good job branding, where even my own wife thinks of me as Izzy Video, so...
For those who don't know, Vilna has her own blog and website where she designs digital cut files and shoots great videos, process videos, and she's very artistic in her scrapbooking. Vilna, is there anything else I should say? Now a teacher at Big Picture.
I do photography.
Yes.
I just creative work. Anything creative freaks me out and flips my hair.
That might be a title.
Wait, say that again? What?
Freaks me out and flips my hair.
Freaks me out and flips my hair. I'm going to write that down.
My teenagers say, whatever flip your hair, you know, and I'm like, okay, that flips my hair. So, sorry.
Oh my gosh, that is hilarious. Oh. And Vilna's a new teacher at Big Picture Classes, but we'll talk about that in a minute with our sponsor message.
Okay.
All right. That is funny. Let's introduce May Flom. Hey, May.
Hi, guys.
Hey,
Good to
May.
be here.
Good to have you on. May, what is going on with your new website? It's not so new anymore, but it's still really actually new, technically, right?
Yeah,
Crafting
it is still pretty new, and I've actually got a really big class that is starting up here in about a week. All about using up your stash and using the stuff you have on hand. So got a bunch of contributors, and I'm really getting excited about it.
You have a bunch of contributors too in your class?
In this one I do, yes.
Ah, cool.
I felt like when it comes to like using the stuff you have, I need help. Everybody needs help. So I felt like getting a group together to take this on would be really great, because then there'll be just that many more ideas.
Awesome.
What does that sound?
May's voice faded
that.
out, and there was a new sound that kind of took over. I heard you.
Yeah.
Do I have a ghost?
No, I don't know what it is.
Is the mouthpiece?
Sounds like somebody's moving your mic around or mouthpiece around or something. Anyway, no worries. Keep going. Okay. Let's do this. The show must go on.
Well, your new class that you're starting is at craftwithmay.com. When does it start, May?
It starts October 1st, and actually, I will send Izzy over a little link with a discount coupon for everybody too, because I always like to share.
All right, and then
Caroline.
let's see. I wanted to make sure we covered everything with May.
I
think we did, right, May? Did we get everything? All right.
Jump the gun here. Go.
Well, then we'll do Caroline Davis. Hello, Caroline.
Hello, Noelle. How are you? Hi, Izzy.
Hello. Sorry you're not feeling well.
Caroline's coming to us with a cold, and she's here anyway. Thank you, Caroline.
Here anyway, like anyone would cancel this. I would be...
Oh. Caroline, you totally disappeared on us when you said...
You dropped out. You said, like, I would not be here. Anybody would... And then there was this long pause. That was too
I'm so
funny.
sorry. I said I would be on my deathbed and I would make someone plug in my headset for me.
Oh, that's like the nicest thing anybody's ever said to us. They plug in their headset on their deathbed.
Thank you. I think it was a conspiracy against the roundtable that they muted out that part of what she said, that, you know, how great it is to be on the show, apparently.
It's so much fun, but I am kind of clipping out and hearing and not hearing alternatively, and I don't necessarily know what to do about that.
Okay, well, if you...
It's a bandwidth issue. Unfortunately, there's really nothing you can do. Just sometimes that happens. So
Just
the best
feel
thing
free
to do is just creatively just fill in the blanks.
If you don't make sense, we'll all know why.
Okay.
But you feel free to ask me what we said if you didn't catch it. And
Everybody's happy to repeat ourselves. So
Okay.
Yes. All right. Caroline Davis. Caroline, what is your blog is pouringoverpictures.blogspot.com.
It is.
Yes, it is. We will have links to everybody's blogs and websites here. You in the past were on the design team for Silhouette for the cameo.
I was, and then things got kind of hectic, so I opted not to I think we had to actually, but I was student teaching at the time, so I stopped.
Are you involved? And you what?
And I miss it.
Oh, you do?
Oh, sure.
Are you doing anything else other than contributing to your own blog right now?
I've started doing process videos on YouTube, and that's it. So.
Oh, people will be glad to hear about that. All right.
you should name your channel, or do you have? You want to tell us what your channel is, or people
I
can
think
check
it's
them out?
Caroline Davis. I'm not super. Although the funny thing is I went looking for it the other day, and apparently there are a million Caroline Davises.
Oh.
I have only ever met one other Caroline that's adult in my life, and yet somehow there are all these Caroline Davises out there. So I'm not the photographer. I'm not the dancer. I'm the scrapbooker.
Oh, that's funny. All right. Well, and we'll have a link to your blog from which people will be able to get to your videos. I can see you've got one posted recently. And I can see you're still using your Cameo, even though you're not on their design team. Nice.
Oh, it's my favorite thing ever.
Yeah. Awesome layout on the top of your blog. All right. I think that we are good with the introduction, so we'll let Izzy have his spot. Oh, you thought I was going to say special moment.
It's all of ours. This belongs to everybody.
Okay.
Okay, so this is the mail for today. We're just going to read the short one. It's from Unapologetically Tracy, who still to this day has not apologized. Do you get it, Noelle?
Yes, I do.
Okay.
We've
All
had her
right.
comment on we've read her mail before.
I'm sorry. I apologize. Okay, so this is what she says. I can't believe Izzy brought up scratch and sniff products because I totally used to fantasize about those and how I wished I could invent them for scrapbookers. Not only pre-made scents, but I wanted to patent a technology for capturing your favorite smells or the scents from your memories and applying them to your page in a scratch and sniff form. Just like recording a smell and playing it back like it was discussed in the episode. So she already had that idea.
Well,
if I had that, I would totally take it to the gym and make a layout about it called "This is my gym." You know, this is how the gym smells.
Now, was your product idea, Izzy, to have the ability to record a smell at Christmas? I thought it was just like these are pre-recorded scents.
Yeah, I said scratch and sniff, embellishments, scrapbooking embellishments, and somebody else said, "Oh, you should be able to capture the smell and then play it back."
Grandma's perfume, you know, that's the scent I would need.
Exactly. Yeah.
My grandma's perfume.
Exactly. Yeah.
What would you guys capture? Vilna, do you have a scent in mind?
You know what? In South Africa, it's very dusty. It's drier than in Canada. And when there's thunderstorms every afternoon, and when those first big drops hit the dust, that smell I want to capture.
Is it more of a rain smell, or is it something in the dust that?
I don't know. It's not rain and it's not dust. It's just this amazing combination of, but it's just for the first 5 or 7 minutes of the rainstorm. You smell that. It's amazing.
So you have to run outside to get that.
I know.
Immediately.
Yeah.
That reminds me of, I've got like a compost heap, like a slow cold compost heap over my garden area before I plant. So it kind of puts some of those nutrients underneath it in the soil. And when sometimes I'll go and water it and kind of move it around, and it just brings up, it smells like the most amazing tea in the world, because my hibiscus, it's from like my trimmings from my plants. So my hibiscus plants are in there, and it smells like a hibiscus tea or something. It smells good. All right. So what about you, Caroline? What scent would you pick?
Spring in Southeast Pennsylvania. And it's funny because I thought, oh, that's so wackadoodle, but it's this earthy smell with flowers and fresh cut grass in there. It just smells beautiful.
Now, you don't live in Pennsylvania, right? You're in Ohio?
I don't, but that's where I went to college. And for some reason, it smells beautiful.
Huh.
Like, I don't. So
that's cool. What about you, May?
I would have, the only thing, I can think of a lot of bad scents that I don't want. That's like immediately what popped into my disturbing mind was like all these scents. I would be terrified if such a device existed, because I just know like there would be all these horrible ones, and then people would like press play right in my face or something. But a good one, I would pick the scent of lilacs, and not like the candle or the like spray. I mean, like the actual scent. I've got a whole walkway that's nothing but lilacs, and in the spring when you walk past them, there's such a fresh, beautiful spring smell there, and you can only get the exact scent if you're walking through and they're blooming. So that's, I think, what I would pick.
So the fake lilac smells like from candles don't cut it, huh? It's different.
They're nice, but it's not the same.
Yeah.
It can't be. It couldn't possibly be the same as what it actually smells like. Like it's just rained and it's spring and they're blooming, and it's just not the same.
Huh. All right. Cool. Izzy.
That's it.
That's it.
Yeah.
Oh, yep, you're right. All right. So our sponsor is Big Picture Classes, and since we have Vilna on, I thought we would let Vilna, I didn't tell you I was going to do this, Vilna, but I thought I've shared your class a couple of times already, so I want to hear about it from you. Like, tell us about your art and design class over at Big Picture Classes.
Has it started already?
No, this Thursday, in 2 days.
Oh, congratulations.
Yes, I'm so excited.
So it's people's last chance, right, to hurry and get in.
They can get in till October 1st.
Okay.
Yeah. So, 2P's closed, and it was June 25th that I got the email on my way to a little breakaway that 2P's closed down. And it wasn't 3 days later, then Stacy Julian emailed me, and she said, don't you want to do a solo class? Because I was scheduled to be a part of the mixed media class that's just after mine, that's coming up.
Mm-hmm.
And she said, but if you prefer, you can do a solo class. And I absolutely jumped at it. I thought it was so kind and gracious of her to ask me. And then I decided to still do art techniques, but I wanted to bring in design, just the idea of good basic grassroots design. And that's what this class is all about. So each week we're going to do 5 process videos. And I kid you not, some weeks are 90 minutes of video. Or 60 minutes of video. So it's going to be really very, a lot of content. And then each week we look at a different design element. So one week we're going to work with grids. One week we're going to work with typography. Patterns is another week, and the last week we're going to look at contrast. So contrast can be big and small, busy and calm. There's so much that you can do with contrast. And so we're going to combine these design principles with very simple, clean, and I'm saying a lot.
It's like a comma.
Art techniques, so it's going to be, I think it's going to be awesome.
Cool. It will. Aren't there like 20 videos?
25 videos.
25.
5 videos every week, plus a bonus video of a techie kind. So one week we're going to do editing photos. One week I'm going to show you how to make a silhouette cut file from start to finish. My exact process,
Yeah.
1 week we're going to do just, yeah, there's, for some reason, I can't think.
Well, let me
What
ask
it
you.
is.
Let me ask you this question. I mean, who's the person that should be signing up for this class? What are they like? What are they?
You know what? If you want to make pages that's creative, sign up for it. If you want to learn simple techniques in mixed media, you should sign up for it. If you one of those people that say I don't like mixed media on my pages because it's just too much. There's just too much going on with mixed media. If it was a little simpler, I might consider it. Then you should sign up. And if you just like art and want to get like a adult art class, but it's not as technique driven as my other two, but
Okay.
there's still elements of it absolutely in it.
Awesome.
So, yeah.
Awesome. I'm sure it'll be great. I took it at your art class at 2Ps and loved it. So, yes, the first one I took. All right. So that's Izzy. If they want to check out Vilna's class and then also see what else is happening over at Big Picture Classes, what should they do?
All you have to do is go to paperclipping.com/big picture, all one word there, and you'll find an affiliate link. And the affiliate link is what you click on to go shopping over there, and then you can get the class from there. And also, we also have a coupon code that can get you 10% off your total purchase. And if you haven't used that yet, you probably ought to get on that. I just saw today. I went to Google.com, saw that today's the first day of fall. I can't believe it's already fall, but we're in the last few months of the year here, and that coupon code's going to expire. So make sure that you use it before the year's out. So once again, that URL to find the affiliate link is paperclipping.com/big picture. We'll also have a link to that page in the show notes for this episode, just like we always do. And if you ever want to find out where all the episodes are, just go to paperclipping.com/roundtable, and you'll see the full list of the episodes.
Cool. All right. Let's jump into our discussion topic. So that topic that has been well requested in the forums that we do again for at least the third time, if not the fourth time, is what I'm calling today deconstructing the page. We are each sharing a page that we recently put together, and we're going to talk about basically how we got there to the end from the finish. What did we start with? How did we get our ideas? How did it work out? What kind of pitfalls did we run into? And we're just going to go one at a time. I'm going to go in the order that I've got them in front of me on my computer, which means that we're going to start with Vilna. Are you okay with that, Vilna?
Yeah, sure.
Okay.
Noelle, real quick.
Yes.
For somebody who's listening right now, is there a place where they can see the layout?
Thank you. Yes, we do have the layouts over. They will be posted in the blog post that we always put up for each episode over at paperclipping.com.
So in other words, the show notes for this episode, the images will be embedded there. So go to paperclipping.com/roundtable. Now, is somebody going to be able to listen to this without seeing those images and still...
The first time we did it, we didn't share the images.
At all?
Maybe eventually we added them in because people said they would like to see them.
But it still worked, huh?
Well, yeah, it's not. I mean, it's better if you can see the images, but you're still hearing about people's process. We always talk about our layouts on the roundtable without sharing them,
right?
So you'll still hear the process, but I think people will definitely benefit. Like if they're out commuting or walking, will definitely benefit when they come later on to paperclipping.com and find it. And you can listen again if you want to. If you're listening now and you don't have them in front of you because you're not at your computer. But an easy way to find it, if you come to paperclipping.com and it's not right there in the front, if you're coming a little bit later, you can click on the Roundtable tab, and it should be pretty soon. But if you're coming like way out in the future,
if you're listening to this in the deep future, just do a search.
Do you know what number episode this is, Izzy?
It's 223.
So look for Roundtable 223. I would guess they can do that, right?
Yep.
Do a search.
Yep.
Okay.
Absolutely.
All right. So Vilna, you have this layout in these beautiful colors that I often see you use, these kind of soft oranges and hints of yellow and pinks. Tell us about how you got started. Tell us how you got started on this page. Like, what was your initial thought? Did you start with a photo, or what were you thinking?
Okay, so I have a process video every Wednesday on my blog. And so I made this page for tomorrow's process video, so you can actually go to my blog and see the process video there. It will be up tomorrow.
Oh, cool.
And Jen Kincaid is a wonderful scrapbooker, but she started to do scripting, with it's almost like calligraphy. She doesn't like to call it calligraphy, but in my mind, she does calligraphy. And she posted a beautiful image on Instagram one day, and I said to her, we should make it into a printable. And she emailed me, and I made it into a printable, and I was going to add it to iHeart Studio, and then I saw how beautiful it is, and I thought, oh, it will be lovely as a cut file. So that was my starting point, was to make a cut file out of this beautiful printable. And I took watercolor paper and I did a double cut with it because it's 140 lb. I don't know. How do you say that, Noelle?
Pound.
Pound. Yeah, but it's not really 140 pounds. How does it, I don't know how they get to that.
I don't
anyway.
either. I never thought about that.
It just sounds wrong. Anyway, so you need to do like a triple dozen cut if it's 140 pounds. But anyway,
it is LB, right? Maybe I'm wrong saying pound.
No,
LB.
but LB is pounds.
I know LBS is pounds. Yeah, LB.
It is pounds. I think it has something to do with paper weighs.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Wait, something to do with how much the paper weighs? Is that what you
Weighs, yeah.
Well, yeah,
How much a ream weighs. So whatever
Exactly.
a ream is.
the whole ream. Okay.
Yes.
Okay, you ready?
Thank
Here's
you,
the
Megan.
answer.
Caroline. Oh, Izzy's got an official.
Oh, thank you,
Yeah.
Izzy.
All right, no problem. For many people, paperweights can be confusing. One of the most confusing aspects of paperweights is called the basis, substance, or pound specification. In dealing with papers, these terms mean basically the same thing. Most likely you have heard the term 20-pound copy paper and so on. 20-pound copy paper is the most used for paper for copiers, fax machines, and where printing needs a minimal quality paper for printing. Let's see.
Yeah, this needs to be edited for relevance. You're
No, but
looking.
I think the point is that the paper I used is heavy and it's thick.
Okay.
Watercolor makes sense. Hey, you want to paint with watercolor, you don't want the paper to buckle. And I love using this on my silhouette. Like, I love it because you get this amazing quality print or cut. So I ran it through my silhouette and I did a double cut, which I always do with this paper. And then I could do a couple of things. I could use it as a stencil. So that was where I decided, now, what am I going to do? And then in the end, I thought, no, I want to use it as a background. And I just want to add some texture to it. So I painted it with acrylic paint. You can see on the image a little bit of the texture of the acrylic paint. And then once that was dry, I just finished the page.
So you put white paint on the white paper.
Paper, yes.
Yeah.
But one of the reasons why I wanted to paint it is because the paper is not white. It's not as white as the American Craft cardstock, for instance,
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So I wanted a whiter white, and then I thought I might as well just add some texture to it.
Mm-hmm.
So
Yeah, because you
that's
can
why I
see the
painted.
brush strokes.
Yeah. And then I have this super cute photo of my youngest and my eldest girl, where they were just grooving around, and it was on Tia's birthday. And I thought it worked wonderful with the paper, and I used the Notes and Things collection as a background paper, one of the papers.
Okay, wait. The notes. Oh, you're talking about the big pattern paper in the back?
Yes,
Is Notes and Things from
crepe paper.
Crepe
Yeah.
paper? Would you? Okay, May and Caroline. I don't know if you know that paper. Would you have recognized it, or did you recognize it?
I didn't. In fact, I thought maybe painted.
I thought that at first too. I thought maybe you painted it, but then when I took a closer look, I could see that it was printed, but I still didn't know what it was. May, did you know?
I thought it was maybe scraps
Oh,
of different papers that had been put your leftover scraps and put them together behind it.
that would be a really good idea.
That will be an awesome idea.
Yeah, I like that idea.
Yeah.
I'm going to take that and run with it then.
But the thing is, I wanted a background paper that wasn't overwhelming. I wanted it to blend in because I didn't want the letters to be too much. It had to be just right.
Yeah.
It is so
Soft
perfectly
and-
you.
It is.
Oh, thank you.
Well, you know what's interesting, Vilna, is I feel like it tricks my eyes a bit because it looks watercolory or something. Maybe because you've got the paint texture on the paper that makes me feel like I'm seeing something painted underneath too. And when I really look at it, I realize it's a printed pattern, printed images under there.
Yeah.
But with the letters and the paint.
Well, then it's good because I think it works well, and I like the painterly. If you say it reminds you of a painterly effect, then I'm happy because it should, in a way.
Can I ask what the pattern paper is? Like, is it flowers? Is it just, what is
It's
it?
actually squares with ambersands, different ambersands. Yeah, I have it here. I can give you the name of it. It's signed. Notes and Things, and the paper's name is signed.
Huh. That is funny. I would never have realized that those are ampersands.
It's so perfect and beautiful.
Yeah. That's cool.
Yeah.
So at what point did you figure out, was it later on that you decided what photo to put on there?
Yeah, I had a couple of options that I could use with it. My problem is I scrapbook so much that I run out of photos. I know. And with teenagers, it's hard to get good photos of them because they want to look good in their photos. So I can't just snap a photo. It's always an issue. Like, Mom, I have to get my makeup done. And I'm okay with that because I want them to feel happy when I take my camera out and not dodging me, So I had a couple of options, and then I decided to use this colored photo. It's a very light photo, lots of white in it, and the colors work well with the page, So the photo was picked after the fact. I just want to put like a little side note here. I scrapbook the same photo. I don't have a problem with that because if I make 2 pages with this specific photo, one day Tia can have one and Yana can have one. You know what I mean? I don't have a problem to scrapbook the same photograph. Maybe once or twice or even 3 times. So that worked well. And then I just embellished it with Maggie Holmes. That beautiful flower is by Maggie Holmes. And the stars is a foam stamp of Studio Calico, one of their June kits that Marcy Penner designed it. And I bought that kit specifically for these foam stamps because they work fabulously with acrylic paint.
Yeah.
So I just roughly stamped I painted it and then I stamped it here and there.
And then are those sequins or what are those circle things on there?
Yeah, it's almost like sequined. What's those pop dots called that's so popular?
Enamel dots?
Yes, but it's like that, but just sequined, and it's by Studio Calico.
Huh.
I think it's from the same June kit. And then the little speech bubble with the heart is by October Afternoon. I bought it off scrapbook.com, and I went to see what products, because I love chipboard embellishments, what products did they carry. And it's an old one from October Afternoon, and they had it on sale, so I bought that one.
Cute. I like
and
it.
And that's basically the whole page.
Well, what about the thing framing the photo? What is that?
Oh, that's also Notes and Things. They have these cute frames. These Polaroid frames are so popular, and I love using them. And this one was just a little bit too small for the photo, so I cut them one side in the corner and a bottom corner. I just pull them out a little bit and I just adhered them with hot glue
I
to
love.
frame the photo.
I mean, it adds to the whole organic. It's so you, because you're very organic. Your pages are so organic, and you're like, I don't care if this is too small. I'm going to cut the corners and move them. Spread them apart so they fit my photo. It's awesome. It totally fits and works.
Yeah.
Oh, I love it. I love these colors. There are not a lot of products out with yellow in them, it seems like, and I'm always wanted to do more yellow.
There's a conspiracy against yellow.
You know what? I actually think there's a ton of yellow.
Really?
But I think the thing is that yellow, like it's a lot of like buttery yellows and soft yellows, so like you don't see it, you don't notice it.
Huh.
It's like it's right there, but it's
not standing
like, but it's not standing out in your eye because you're focusing on the blue or the red or the pink or the whatever or the green, whatever the other colors are.
Well, I don't think
that's what I think.
Yeah, you might be right.
But not yellow, like focused yellow.
Ooh, yellow. I don't think most of the products that I have right now have any yellow. But there are a lot out there. I just need to go find
I
them.
love yellow too. I made a page for 2 Pieces in a Bucket in the Mutter scrap like long ago that basically only have yellow. And that page is probably one of my favorite pages ever. And whenever I feel in a like low mojo, I need to get my creative boot on again, then I pick up that page. And that's one of my biggest inspirations. And I love, love, love yellow. I made a page for the art and design class, Noelle, that's just yellow with little light bulbs.
Oh, with light bulbs.
And I think 1 or 2 pages that's just yellow. And I that's fabulous. I love yellow.
I do have a yellow page. I think, if I remember right, dear Lizzie had one of those crepe paper. You guys know she had for a while the layered crepe paper. Do you know what I'm talking about? It's like ruffled.
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
Was there a full yellow
ombre.
one?
It's ombre.
It's an ombre. Okay. And I did do a page. I don't think I didn't add my journaling, so I haven't photographed it and shared it, I don't think. But that's pretty yellow, and I love it. And I even used some glittered yellow thickers on there.
I know fall is here because I keep pulling yellow and orange out, and I'm not a yellow and orange person. But when the fall comes, all of a sudden, that's all I want.
You want to do yellow? I like yellow in the fall. I don't think you see yellow in fall stuff as much as golds,
Only mine.
In yours. Well, I did yellow in my November Project Life last year. I finally decided, you know what? I'm in Arizona. We don't get the beautiful orange leaves and the red leaves that everybody gets. So I'm going with yellow because that seems more like an Arizona Thanksgiving, color or fall color. Okay. Do you guys, Caroline or May, are you good? Do you have anything else you want to ask about Vilna before
I was just going to say what I love about this is when you first look at it, and I think it's, people, when they look at the stuff, they have to see, hearing the process, it simplified it so much. So I first looked at it, I thought, oh my gosh, that's so complicated, and it must have taken so many hours. And, when you first look at it, there's so much going on until you it was really interesting to me just to break this one down because it really was a lot more simple than you might have first thought.
Yeah.
Wow.
Not in a bad way.
No, I'm so glad you say that because when I do process videos, it's like I'm hopping on this all the time. This is so simple. I filmed it, and I think when I'm going to do the edits, I think the whole video in itself will probably be 8 minutes, just because it's so simple. It's one of the easier pages that I've done in a long time. So yeah, it looks very, complicated, but it's really so simple.
I love that.
I just want to say one more thing. The journaling, I didn't do a lot of journaling because I felt that the typography, which is also part of the texture of the page, is the message. And it says, the best love is the one that makes you a better person without changing you into someone other than yourself. Isn't that beautiful?
Yeah.
Just that sentiment. Yeah.
I like that. Okay. The best love what is it? The best love that makes you a better
is one that makes you a better person without changing you into someone other than yourself.
Oh, that's great.
Yeah.
That's great.
And that's a big thing that I try to teach my girls is just their worth, Don't change to make someone love you. Someone must love you exactly who you are.
Hmm.
So yeah.
Well, somebody must love you exactly who you are at the optimal time of day. Don't you think?
Yes.
Like between 6 and 7 in the morning.
No, not first thing in the morning. Oh my gosh. Very few people are going to love me first thing in the morning.
Before the coffee, yeah.
Izzy, you jump right out of bed first thing in the morning and get to work and stuff. What are you talking about?
I know. Who's going to love somebody like that? The time somebody's going to love me is, in the evening at about 8:15 after I finished my first glass of wine. A lot of people love me. I love me then.
Because you're a little calmer then, is that?
Yeah, man. Who's not going to?
We have a couple early birds in our family. Our oldest son is the same way. He's just up and out of bed and ready to go. So did you, real quick, one last question. Did you run into any roadblocks, or was it pretty, is this one of those great ones where it just all kind of comes together because you're going with the flow and you're not trying too hard?
Well, if you look carefully, the stars are a little bit messy. So I practiced before the time, but then when I stamped it, they just made a mess. So that was a little awkward. And then also the paint made the letters a little uneven,
Oh.
And I decided that I could either throw a tantrum about it or just go on and just say whatever, it's fine. So yeah, it's a couple of things, and I moved the embellishments around a lot. Like, where do I put this? No, this is not working. Take something out, add something. And I also didn't quite know where to add my little journaling,
Yeah.
And then I decided just to do it right at the right hand bottom.
Oh, I think it's perfect. It's I share in my videos all the time. I love concentrating embellishments and things in one spot, like near a photo, for example, and then have it kind of trail out and get thinner and thinner. And that's what you've done, and I love that look. Yeah.
Well,
go ahead.
The watercolor paper that you used, how does that lift off the silhouette mat? Does it bend, or does it end up with a curve once it comes off?
No, it's amazing. That's why I use it. It just comes up as flat as possible. You won't believe, if you love your silhouette, do yourself a favor, and it's cheap. The paper is relatively cheap. You buy a pad at Michael's it's Canson watercolor paper. That's the name of it. XL, the XL series. And you get one that's 12 inches by 18 inches or so. So it fits your mat perfectly. This one I did on 11 inches by 14 inches or 16. So I just cut it 11 by 11.
And the notebook detail up at the top and the lower left, is that from a punch, or did you do that in the silhouette?
No, that's just a punch. Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, I forgot to ask about that.
Yeah, I just wanted to, it was too flat. The edge was too, so I just thought maybe I'll just punch the edges a little just to give it more of an organic feel. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's fun.
Nice. Okay, let's see who I have next in my little, and it's Caroline. Caroline, let's go to your page. Does everybody see Caroline's page wherever you're looking? As long as you are with me, there's no place I'd rather be.
Does that sound familiar?
Wait, what's it from?
It's from that Clean Bandit song that's all over the radio right now.
I don't think I know it.
I don't know that.
We're not hip.
We don't listen to the radio. We listen to talk radio.
Sometimes
is it on
I
talk
listen
radio?
To the radio but...
Just kidding.
Oh.
Is it on talk radio? Is he? So this is a song that's out right now?
Yes.
Well, I like the lyrics. Is this part 2? We're a million miles from comfort.
It's funny, but that's the very first line of the song. The chorus is, as long with me, there's no place I'd rather be. And I went to look it up because I thought, it would be just like me to say, oh, I was inspired by this song, and then have the lyrics all messed up, which ironically I did anyway. But I was looking at the lyrics online, and the first line, which I didn't really ever pay attention to, is we're 1,000 miles from comfort. And then it says something about land and sea, and then it goes into, but as long as you're with me. And I thought that was really appropriate for So I quit my job back in January to student teach, and then I thought that I would go back to my job when I was done. And when I was done, they were like, "Oh, sorry, yeah." So
Oh,
anyway, I've been working at Target, which, as you can imagine, is not something that really rakes in the big bucks. So we're not comfortable right now. We're really kind of like sweating every dime that gets spent. And I love that line. Where's dirt? And this is still where I want to be. So I love that. That was a little bit of serendipity for
What
me.
a great story.
Yeah. Are you going to write that background somewhere? Like, is that part in your scrapbook? The part about your job not being there for you, like you had expected, but you're going to make it.
No, I'm not going to put it down just because I know it, and now all of the PRT listeners know it.
Yeah.
But it's one of those things that I don't really feel there for posterity. I mean, my kids know the situation. They know that, mom's poor. But other than that, I don't want to, you know what? You try to keep it upbeat, right?
Uh-huh.
So
I know. I think sometimes, and I think it's a personal decision, but I think like when and when not to. But I think sometimes it's kind of cool to not tell the story. I know we're always talking about tell the story, but there are times when I have deliberately chosen to hint at it and not tell the story, and I kind of like that mystery, that leaves.
Yeah, I think that does it.
Okay, so how did you start with this song, or were you thinking of, what initially sparked this layout?
So I knew I was going to today, and I knew that I wanted to do a fresh layout for it because I've already got these process videos where I've talked for 15 minutes about every layout. So I thought I'm going to do something new, and I've been thinking for days, okay, what pictures do I want to scrapbook? And the other day I came home from work, and this was the song. Turned off the car, and I love the song. The woman's voice is it's kind of like this bohemian with a techno beat to it. I don't know. It's a really funky song. I like it. It's a love song, but it's not a ballad. It's just beautiful and fresh. And it was what was playing when I pulled in, and I went, you know what, I'm going to go find a picture of the two of us. And that's what it's going to be, because I just want to say that. So
cool.
This is not how I generally scrapbook. I don't ever start with 99.44% of the time. It's you start with a photo and then go to a title and the journaling. And this time it was, I just want the layout to be these lyrics.
Yeah.
So
that's cool. So it's like an emotional. You made an emotional connection with that song, and you were ready to do something with it.
For those of us that don't know the song, we all want to hear it right now. But we should give a disclaimer that the Roundtable does not pay ASCAP and BMI fees to be able to play
the song.
these types of songs. There will be no popular music. The only songs you get to hear are the ones that we play at the beginning and end of the show because it's royalty free.
Well, I'm kind of looking forward to stumbling upon the song. Now you're going to ruin it and get it out and play it for me.
I have the lyrics right here. I'm going to play it when the show's over.
We don't know the tune, and so I think it would be fun to suddenly to be hearing the song. I'm like, oh, it's a great song, and then recognize the lyrics and be like, oh, that's the one. But I know you're going to look it up and play it.
The first line she said is, "We're 1,000 miles from comfort," and the answer to that issue is for the way that you get to comfort is first you walk 500 miles. Then you walk 500 more.
We can play the song tag.
that was good.
Song tag. Play song tag.
As long as you love me, we'll be okay.
Yeah.
I wonder if our younger 20-something and younger crowd knows what we're referring to.
The Proclaimers,
Our son would,
they're from the 80s, but they pop up every once in a while, All right.
Okay,
anyway.
so back to this layout.
Yeah.
I really like the soft blue and that beautiful mint with that yellow orange, by the way.
Can I talk about those ink blobs?
Yes.
I was going to ask you about them.
All right, so I didn't know Wilna was going to be on the show today, and as I'm doing this, this was actually something that I saw Arit Landgraf do on, and she takes the mist and she sprays it onto like a plastic bag, and she gessos her cardstock, and so that it doesn't warp. And I'm too lazy to do this, and the funny thing is I think Arit has said, I learned this from Vilna in her. And so I'm doing this yesterday, and it's totally just like a messed up, real version of what you do, Vilna. And it was so funny because in the movie The Devil Wears Prada, there's a scene where Glenn Close, I think Anne Hathaway kind of rolls her eyes at fashion, and Glenn Close just reads her the riot act in that perfect way that she does in that movie. And she says, you know, you think you're fashion, but 2 years ago, so-and-so showed a cerulean blue dress, and that was the inspiration for this. And then it was taken down to like, and she kind of talks about the tiers in the fashion industry, and that's how it ended up in the clearance bin of the dress barn where you picked up that sweater. And I'm laughing as I'm making this layout because I'm like, I am the clearance bin at dress barn version of Vilna Furstenberg's technique.
Absolutely not.
But, you know, it works.
Well,
And I was thinking, wow, I love that little
detail
mixed media going on there. You should tell me how you did that. Honestly, it's what I thought.
Oh, I love it. That's the detail she picked out, and it probably leads back to Vilna. Oh, how funny.
Well, wait, there's another one that leads back to Vilna. So over on the other side, there's that bird that has, if you look at it closely, there's glitter on the bottom side of it. I actually have another bird exactly like that on another page that was done maybe a year ago. And I can't remember what I was doing, but I was doing a scrapbook page and I went to shake stuff off into the garbage. Well, I had just like opened a bottle of glue. You know how it gets stuck and you put a pin in the top, you aim it down in your garbage can and squeeze. Well, I had squeezed, so my garbage can was just filled with wet glue, and I shook the layout off to get like little scraps off, and the bird that I hadn't adhered down, and I didn't realize that it fell in the wet glue, and I was kind of irritated. Well, I had been listening to the Paperclipping Roundtable that day, and Vilna had been on, and she was talking about how she spilled an entire bottle of glue or of paint on her page, and how she just made it work, and it looked fantastic. And I was like, if dumb old Vilna Furstenberg could do this, I can figure out how to pull this out.
Did you say dumb old Vilna?
Thanks for the title.
Okay, I can take it.
Thanks for the title there. Mm-hmm.
No, in a totally loving, she is God, you know, not, well, that's a little extreme, but, you know, she is
Goddess.
fantastic, goddess. Okay, so I was like, all right, what am I going to do with all this wet glue? So I grabbed some glitter and threw it on there, and I was like, I love the way that looks. Vilna's so smart. So anyway, 2 Vilna references in one layout before I even knew that I was going to be on with her. So that's where my brain is. On my very usually clean layouts that are linear and you couldn't normally see any Vilna in them, but there you go.
That's awesome.
And we both placed pattern paper behind a silhouette cut.
And that's why I asked you, because when I peel my American Crafts page off the silhouette mat, it kind of crimps up and crinkles. Fortunately, it's kind of where the picture ended up, so it got covered. But I was like, oh, I wonder if her paper, you know, is thicker so that it doesn't do that. So I will be saving some pennies and getting some water paper.
Cool. That's awesome. What a great story. Okay. So what did you do the ink, the color ink spots? You did that before you cut it with your silhouette.
Actually, it's funny because I was kind of going on a wing and a prayer that it would actually work out, and I wasn't pleased with it. The blue on top of the gray was kind of an accident, and then I was like, oh, but I kind of like it. It looks like clouds and it looks like a silver lining. I don't know. I'm making stretches. You know how you do that? You make a mistake, and then all of a sudden you're like, but it could be this and it could be this, and I'm just going to embrace that.
It's art.
So no, I did that afterwards.
Okay, wait. So what order did you do things in? Like, where did you start?
I started with cutting the no play B, and then so those are all holes in the paper. And then the rather, I use a technique that Nicole McGurk, whose name I can't pronounce, does, where she cuts it out, and I do it. I've been doing it for a couple of years now. You cut it out 4 or 5 times, and you just adhere them all together.
Oh yeah.
I don't buy thickers, but I like that height, so they're all adhered. So that was on top. Okay. So that was how I started and printed the picture. The words where it says "as long as you were with me," those are just done on scraps, but I wanted to make them like in the song staccato. It's not, you know, in a rock song, words are like strung together and you have to really pay attention to be able to figure out exactly what they're saying. But in this, it's very like, as long as you are with me. so I wanted to make them each a distinct little piece. So
I love this. Okay, so you took this. I love it when I love doing this. You took something in one medium, which is music, and found a way to translate it into a visual thing, and that's awesome.
Well, I'm hoping it comes through. Like, if you're familiar with the song, I hope that it, like, you can hear that, like, each individual word is there. So
awesome. Well, you did it visually.
It's the color.
What's that?
The color scheme has nothing to do with the picture. The color scheme is, I just wanted, like, when I listened to the song, like I described it as kind of bohemian with a techno beat to it. Like, I'm in this still summer phase. I want to be using oranges and pinks and yellows and blues and green versions of those colors. And I was like, no, I don't think that goes with this song. I want to soften it down and do these blues and golds and grays and see if that doesn't work. So
that's still fresh and light. Go ahead.
And what paper did you use for the polka dots? Those beautiful colored polka dots?
Those beautiful
did you
colored
stamp them?
No, it's washi tape from the Studio Calico kit 1 month, and
that's awesome.
Absolutely love that washi tape. So
that's with the pink and orange and green and blue polka dots?
Yeah.
Okay.
And it looks like pattern paper, or that you stamped it or something,
Yeah.
The polka dots?
Yeah, the washi tape.
Thanks.
And I have another question. Did you write as long as you are with me with your hand, or did you print it?
No,
stamp it.
It's a font called Indie Pimp. Names, but yeah, that's just, I don't do a whole lot of handwriting. I wrote the thing up the side, and it's funny because I was just yesterday listening to the Paperclipping Roundtable from last week, and there was the discussion again about handwriting, and I was like, I feel so guilty. No, I don't. But yeah, I don't generally do handwriting on my pages. But
it looks good.
By the time I decided to incorporate the "We're a Million Miles from Comfort," everything else had already been done, and I couldn't run it through the computer.
No, yeah, I like the handwriting. I think it looks great.
Yeah. Okay. Thanks.
It does.
I'm not a fan. Well, I totally accept it. I'm not a fan of my handwriting on layouts. So.
Well, I actually like from a visual aesthetic. I like it. I think it looks really good. I think because the page has it leans a little more, maybe because maybe you're inspired by the indie song. It has kind of that more, like I want to say, organic again feel to it, and I think that the handwriting goes really well with that.
I do agree with that. I do.
Yeah, awesome.
My question would be, when you're doing a title that big and long, and you've got all those different fonts and sizes and things, when you were doing it, did you like block out where it was going to be, or did you start with one word? Like, where did you start
good
with all those words?
All right, so I am a really lazy scrapbooker, and so when I knew I wanted to do this, and the layout is more about the title than the actual picture, I realized that I didn't want to sit there and glue down all those letters. So I go into the Silhouette software, and I start out with an 8.5 by 11 page, because I'm an 8.5 by 11 scrapbooker, and I make a 3x3 square because that's the size of the picture that I plan to use, and I put that on the page, and I put down no place I'd rather be, and I figure out how I want that sized and where it's going to go, and I have this pre-vision for this as to what it's going to look like when it's done. Does that make sense? Yeah. So I know where the picture is going to go. I know where the title is going to go. And really, the fact that the paper is behind was just a matter of, like I said, I didn't want to sit there and glue down N-O-P. That's just, I don't know. So this was just a lot faster. So. Nice. And then in terms of the "as long as you were with me" part, that was just a matter of, okay, a wing and a prayer, print it out on my computer, put some scraps on top of each one, and just hope it fits. So that happened. So.
Wow. And that worked out.
Yeah.
Cool. Nice. What are those little blackbirds?
They're just, they're from a die, and I want to say I got it at Simon Says Stamp, and I just like the idea of them talking to each other.
Yeah. Like a little tiny die?
It's, I think maybe 5 birds that are on the die. And so you run it through, and I just stick it in my little bin of potential dies to use in the future.
Okay.
So it's not like I stopped what I was doing and went and die cut it. They were in my little bowl.
Yeah. Yeah. So we know about the bump in the road with the color. What was it? Ink? What medium were you using for the ink splotches? Or is it
Turquoise,
paint?
I think.
It's what?
It's spray mists.
Spray mist. Okay. Which is hilarious how it caught Vilna's eye. Did everything else come together pretty easily and smoothly?
Yeah, there wasn't like a lot of times I do have those, oh, that is not what I thought was going to happen moments. And a lot of times I just go, too late, we're moving ahead. This one, there was nothing really to it. I dry embossed the 2 layers behind the photograph, and I put my Cuttlebug on top of the white cardstock. And when I moved it, it had left lines. Like I want to say dirt lines, but I don't know what it was. I grabbed an eraser and it erased off. I don't know what it was, but it just went away. So that was the only other issue that I had.
Yeah.
Everything else kind of came together smoothly.
Nice. Yeah. Cool. All right. All right. So let's move on. Thank you. Thank you, Caroline. Let's move on to May's now. And May has gone camping.
Yeah, and May remembers that she's supposed to send Izzy a non-iPhone photo. I didn't have internet for like 3 days, so I did the little snap with my iPhone and then crop in diptych and then mail off to Izzy so that you guys had a photo. But obviously I have internet again now, thank goodness.
Wait, so you did send Izzy a non-iPhone?
This photo, this is just not the one that everybody will see, but the one that, those of us recording see. It's just an iPhone photo.
Okay. But the one did you say you sent Izzy one that's not?
No, I need to.
Oh,
but
okay.
I didn't have internet back until this morning.
Okay. All right. I just want to say, starting off, I love the way you put the enamel dots and the stars around the stitching around the edge.
That's one of my favorite tricks.
I've never seen that done. So is that something you've done before?
I do it all the time. I love it because, I love to stitch because I always feel like when you stitch around the edge or use a pen and do a little pen line work around the edge, it just kind of helps bring everybody together. Just kind of I don't know.
So it's
there's something about that I really like.
Yeah.
And then if I'm feeling like in this one, and I'll explain in a minute, but this one, it was such a simple page without any texture whatsoever. And that was actually the point. But because of that, I really liked putting little pearls and some wooden enamel dot things and also the little wooden stars. But I liked putting all of those things on because there's the texture. The stitching and all that became the texture of the page.
Yeah.
I also love the way you framed it. It's beautiful with the little embellishments right at the bottom that tells more of the story. And then your eyes start, because that's when I look at your page, my eyes start right at the bottom left with the little squirrel. And then it follows the moose. And then it goes up to the 2 little birds. And then it comes down to the little deer. I just love it.
Oh, thank you.
It's like a little trail.
Yeah. Like a hiking trail.
Yes.
So cute. Okay, so tell us how this layout started.
Okay, so I've been in a scrapbooking funk, actually. This layout is actually a lesson in my upcoming class, and as of yesterday morning, it was the only layout I've made in 3 weeks, which is an incredibly long time for me to go without making an actual scrapbook layout. But I was up in my own head and having my own personal funk issues, and I'm committing to scrapbooking stories or scrapbooking things that I wanted. And what ended up happening, and I'm glad that it did because I'm back to it. About a week and a half ago, I went and I took a class at a local scrapbooking store on coloring, and the subject of the class and all that isn't so important, but while I was there, I ended up falling into some very poor purchase choices. While I was at the scrapbook store, I bought this big sheet of Gone Camping, the stickers you see there, as well as the little trailer paper that you see there. And I bought a bunch of epoxy and enamel type embellishments and brads, and basically all of the things I promised myself I would stop buying because I'm trying to work through what I have. So that wasn't so good of me. But I came home and I go, you know what though? The thing is, I'm teaching this class on, like using what we have and getting it out there, getting it used. And I went, I am going to take this trailer paper that has nothing to do with like my personal style or how I scrapbook. I would never normally pick or use this. It was just too cute to go with these stickers that are just way too adorable and that don't go with things that I would normally pick. And darn it, we're going camping this weekend, and the day we get home, I'm going to scrapbook it. And so I did. I set my craft, I set a couple different neutral cardstocks and the paper and the stickers on my desk and cleaned up my space, and we went camping. And not the day we got home because I was tired, but the next day, that was what I did. I sat down and I got to work on this page. And what was really great about it for me was that I had a product in mind, and I knew I wasn't going to have problems getting it used with our camping pictures because there's always so much browns and neutrals and everything in those pictures that I knew that photo-wise I didn't have to worry. I just had to remember to actually take a couple of pictures while we were out, since my phone usually just stays in the glove box. I just needed to make sure to get a couple pictures. And then sitting down with it, it became really fun because I turned it into what do you do when you have this whole sheet of cute little stickers and you really just want to use them because if you don't use them, they're just going to sit on the shelf forever. So how do you go about, layering on your stickers and like making little scenes with them or getting them used up on a page without looking like you sneezed stickers all over your page? And my answer to that, which you can see here, is get them, against the photo, make them a part of the title, layer them up in the corner, like kind of with my journaling there, making kind of like a little, I don't have a journaling card, but kind of the journaling card effect there where you've got like a little embellishment on it. And basically just to find small little ways to incorporate them. And I used half the sheet. That's half the sheet or maybe even a little over half the sheet of stickers right there on the layout. You
cluster them into little groupings.
I do, and kind of layer them up. Yeah. And like if you look behind the title, there's a mountain sticker. There's a tree sticker. Behind the moose, there's a tree sticker. Like I really made sure to kind of group them up together. Sometimes based like behind the camping sticker, the mountain and the tree, it was just for some solid color to be behind that so that the camping wouldn't be competing against the trailer paper that's so busy.
But you know what, I'm glad you said this because I think a lot of us would have assumed that the mountain and the tree was already layered, like it came that way. And the same thing with the tree behind the moose. And, I love that. Did the mushroom and the flower, was that already attached to the gone?
All separate. Nope, all separate. Every single sticker is individual on here.
Oh, wow. That's great. Yeah. I love that you're using mushrooms. I need to find ways to use mushrooms because I love mushrooms.
Well, and actually I'm like, look, I don't use mushrooms. So being outdoors with the woods, I might as well throw all the mushrooms on this sheet onto this in a way that's not so that was like, I always try to look like, how can I throw something on this page without looking like I'm throwing something on this page? And for me, clustering and like making concentrated groups or like little areas where, you can layer stuff up is the best way for me, at least, to get that done.
Yeah. It's so funny because we just shot a paperclipping video yesterday, and I like showed that exact idea. So it's kind of fun it hasn't come out yet. It's kind of fun to see that here with a totally different look though, because you're using different colors than what I did and totally different stuff. But I didn't actually build a little like a diorama or whatever you want to call it. Like you've built a little diorama sort of. I don't know if that's the right word, but by layering those different images. It's so cute.
And, it was funny because I was so mad at myself for making these purchases that I know, that were not in the plan, were not in the budget. But then it was funny because the thing of it was by stepping so far out of what I usually do and using these products and having, to be honest, it was fun figuring out like, okay, what little, what can go on top of my little Gone sticker. Because even those were part of the sticker sheet, the Gone camping, that was all the sticker sheet. So figuring out like, okay, what can we do to dress this up, to make it my own, to do this and that, it got me out of my mental funk enough to focus on the challenge at hand, and really help me like move past and then get more prolific once again.
Mm-hmm. Oh,
So-
good. So then you're back in the scrapbooking mode.
I'm back now. It wasn't I was having just yuck, but part of it like things going on and drama, and part of it just letting the things that were going on get inside my head to the point where then I started doing the thing where, and I'm sure we've all been there, where it's like, what is the point of it all? Why do I bother? I can't tell. What if I tell this story wrong? What if, and just doing the like second guessing myself to the point of sitting at my desk for an hour and doing nothing.
Yeah.
So it wasn't good, but.
Well, so
I hate when that happens.
yeah. you and Caroline both did something like departed a bit from what you typically would do. Like, when you look at this now, do you feel like this is you and your style?
Oh, definitely, because a couple of things. Number one, that design with the 3 photos, it could be 2 if they were portrait oriented, but the 3 photos down with the title at the middle photo and the journaling below is a design I use all the time.
Mm-hmm.
So design-wise, it fits right in with the scrapbook. And then at the end, when I got to the end and I went, the thing is, it's kind of flat, and I went, oh, I know, I'll do my thing where I do my stitching. That's a signature May move, to do the stitching and the little doodads around the edge.
I love it.
So I went, okay, well now look, now it's kind of combined, like I had this, challenge to myself and I used these products, but then I went and, neutral cardstock base, the design, and then the finishing touches are all like signature things, not that I invented them, just that for my style, they're signatures within my style.
Uh-huh.
So now I've blended those 2 things, so it is one that I'll like.
It's
not one that I'll hide from.
Yeah. Where you look at it and you go, it's not quite me. That was a kind of a departure.
Yeah, no, I totally dig it.
Did you guys go camping so that you would have something to scrapbook?
No, we went camping really because we figured out that it was my husband's a firefighter, so his schedule is very weird.
Uh-huh.
And we figured out that it was the last time until Christmas vacation that we could possibly camp.
Oh.
Wait, what? Is your husband a firefighter?
Yes.
Oh.
Yes, and we figured out the way his schedule was, it was the last time he would have Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday off.
Oh, geez.
And we need Thursday to prep the trailer, get all the supplies, and then Friday we take off and we're gone Saturday and Sunday. So realizing that was the last weekend that we could do it, then we went, it just all worked out really, really well.
Cool. I want to ask you, Caroline, the same question. When you look at your page now, do you feel like it's a bit of a departure, and is that what you see, or do you feel like, okay, this ended up being a Caroline Davis page?
It's totally me. And I've been thinking about this recently. Like I can't seem to get away from who I am as a scrapbooker. Like I will be inspired by, want to emulate, want to copy somebody else. And I feel like when it's all said and done, I go, that's my page.
Yeah.
There's something about the papers that I buy and gravitate to that are very me. Like Wilna's page being soft and romantic. Like even the paper behind her cutout, it doesn't it? Like from what you see, if you'd taken the picture off and showed it to me and said, is this May's, is this Wilna's, is this Caroline's, or is this Noelle's, I would have said that's Wilna's. I don't even need to look at the name.
Uh-huh.
But there's something about, like, I get done and I go, that's me. Those are the products that I use. Those are the, like, I was thinking the other day that I'm in general a pretty flat scrapbooker, but I love flair, and I love the buttons, or the flair from a Flair for Button.
I think we lost Caroline for a second. Caroline, you there? Okay, shoot. I don't know. Caroline, if you can hear us, we cannot hear you. I think Skype's doing something weird. But is she still connected, Izzy?
I'm here.
You're here. Okay. May, are you here?
Oh my gosh. We're
we
having
lost
so
May
many
too.
Skype issues right now.
Did this happen last week too?
Caroline,
It
you're
did.
back?
I am back.
And
Okay,
May, you're
good.
back?
May?
May?
Yes, I am.
Okay,
Okay,
good.
fantastic. Sorry about that. There's something going on with Skype. It's bad news. Anyway, back
Maybe-
to you, Noelle.
Okay. Well, Caroline was in the middle of talking. So what were you saying? You don't even know
We
when you
talked about recognizing our brand or styles in a page.
Yeah. And how it... Are you still there, Caroline?
I'm here.
Okay.
Like one of the things that I was thinking is that, you know, I like flair. I'm in general a pretty flat scrapbooker, but I like flair. And somehow it ends up like 2/3 of the way down the page, so that when you look at the like the side view of my album, it's, you know, in that spot, it's bloop, 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 bloop. So it's just kind of funny. It looks like me, even though it wasn't the normal way of doing things for me. It's still me.
Oh my goodness. Awesome. I know what you're talking about. I've at times went, okay, I need to put some embellishments over here where everything is like, you know, laying flat so that it works in the album as a whole.
I need to do that.
Izzy, do we have time for me to do mine? Or no, we're running out of time. Okay.
Oh, come on now, just quickly.
Just a real quick.
First, she put down some paper, then she used adhesives. And then, okay.
We found a ballet school, which was such a relief to find a really good ballet school, which is hard to do.
I've been looking for one and looking for one.
And so I wanted to introduce the new school in her new album. Like, we decided to leave the whole mixed up styles of dance, and that she still does a few other styles at the ballet school, but really focus on her ballet training so she can enter a ballet career. And so I took I took the pamphlet that they have for the Master Ballet Academy, and I cut up the pieces. So I didn't know how I was going to lay it out. I just knew that I had, you know, I wanted to use these pieces to introduce the school and what it is, and all of the national and international acclaim, and like I wanted to use these wonderful photos that show off the amazing skill that these dancers have, and so I cut out a bunch of the pieces thinking, and I pulled out the ones that I knew for sure had to be on this front page. Some of them I could skip altogether, and some of them could show up on a different page, but I took out those ones that I knew I wanted, and then just started kind of arranging them. And I started with, you know, at the top, the Master Ballet Academy with the couple dancing, and then the artistic director's name underneath. I kind of those were separated, and I put them together. And then I had the feet, the legs, you know, the pointed toes, and that other black box. And I kind of moved them a little bit. And then I thought, oh, okay, if I put the black with the red box here, then that'll counterbalance the black and red up at the top. So people are going to really need to see this to know what I'm talking about. But they balance each other at a diagonal there. And then the feet, I love that the feet point downward. So they bring your eye down from the top down to the journaling, which is really about the program, which is the pre-professional program they have. And then it ends like it kind of punctuates things with that photo at the bottom where they're all doing the arabesques. But so it's red and black, a lot of red and black with the pink and the tights and the costumes. And I really wanted the album, I wanted to have a lot of ballet pink in it and a lot of white. So I found a piece of paper that has these flowers with pink and red. So that would pull in a little bit more of the ballet pink and bring it together with the red that's in from the pamphlet, and kind of bring those two colors together. And then I found a couple other scraps with pink and red that you can see there at the edges of those boxes. And so basically what I was going for was kind of a shape to balance all these pieces. It's probably more angular and straight lines than I typically do, but I didn't feel like it needed anything else. Like I feel like if I added something more kind of organic and circle-y or whatever, I just feel like it would take away from the strength that I feel like it has. So
I like them. It looks like a magazine type of editorial layout, you know?
Yeah, that's what I think too.
With the little flowers, the pattern paper, it just makes it a little softer, and it's beautiful.
You're right. Yeah, those flowers do kind of add that softening that it needed,
Yeah.
huh?
That
So-
is exactly how I would have summed it up. It looks like a magazine. It looks something very editorial, and then the paper that's in there just makes it so soft and pretty and romantic and ballet-ish.
to fit it with the
Yeah.
ballet. Awesome.
Beautiful.
Thank you.
Wait till you see her crunk layout.
Crump. Crunk, I mean, is it crunk or crump? Now I've forgotten.
I don't even know.
I don't know. Oh, that's funny. All right, that was fun. I love taking time and talking with people about their layouts like this. So we think we'll probably do it pretty regularly. I don't know how often, but we'll come back and do some, do this with other scrapbookers too. Thanks for sharing everything, ladies.
That was fun.
We're gonna
Yeah,
get requests
it's awesome.
we're gonna get requests for daily.
Daily.
Yeah. Yeah.
All right, let's do our picks of the week. But before we do, Izzy has.
Wait. I had a product idea I wanted to share first.
Oh, of course.
You guys were talking about mushrooms.
Oh shit.
Imagine if they come in psychedelic colors. You could call them psychedelic mushrooms. And they would be a huge hit. And we could say, gives you inspiration, gives you new ideas, enhance your creativity. You know?
Funny.
Oh, that's a
can
paper collection. I
It's a
think
paper-
American Crafts, they've
Yeah.
got their next new designer.
Yeah. What, me? No. Yeah, and then you could have a workshop and say, does everybody have your psychedelic mushrooms with you? That's just awesome.
Oh, funny.
All right,
That's
the show
hilarious.
is not just brought to you by Big Picture Classes, which we already talked about. It's also brought to you about paper clipping ourselves. And of course, what you're listening to is the Paperclipping Roundtable. It's the audio scrapbooking show that we do. Kind of like audio, it's kind of like radio, like talk radio. Except it's about scrapbooking, which is something you don't usually hear on regular terrestrial radio. Maybe, I bet it exists on satellite radio somewhere. Anyway, getting off on a tangent. Let's get back to paper clipping. So, this is one of the many things that we do, but the main thing that we do is the paper clipping membership. And the membership it gets you access to a large library of video tutorials, video training, videos. It's a video library. It's kind of like owning 1,000 DVDs or something like, I don't know. It's probably not that much. 100 DVD, I don't know, 50 DVDs. Let's see. How long? Let's see. I want to make sure that I'm not exaggerating this. It's probably the equivalent of maybe 50 to 100 DVDs. Anyway, my point is that when you become a paperclipping member, you get access to this large library. All of the videos are downloadable. You can download them and save them for as long as you want. And yes, they will continue to work even if you decide not to renew your membership. A lot of people do renew their memberships because not only do you get access to the library, but you also get access to the 2 new videos that we add to the library every single month. And Noelle just mentioned the one that that we just finished shooting yesterday. That'll be up soon. A couple videos ago, we did one that was all about, just to give you an idea of what the topics are like, we did one that was all about how to use 3x4 Project Life cards, not just in Project Life, but also on regular layouts, and how you can kind of change them up and use them and make them design elements and use them as if they're, paper or embellishments. There's a lot of really good ideas in that video. And there's one thing that a lot of people have, and it's surplus 3x4 Project Life cards. So if you have extras of those, that's just an idea. So there's more than 200 videos in the library. You should definitely check it out. If you're listening to this and you're not yet a member, please go learn more. And it should, give you all kinds of ideas and inspiration and education. So the way that you can learn more is you go to paperclipping.com/membership. Once again, paperclipping.com/membership. And you can learn more about what it is. And I know that a lot of the people listening to this, I don't know if the majority, but a lot of the people listening to this right now are already paperclipping members. And we really, really appreciate you. You're what make everything that we do possible. So thank you for being members. But if you're listening to this and you're not a member, go check it out. Go learn more. paperclipping.com/membership. Thank you.
Thank you. All right, let's do our picks of the week, and we'll go around the table, and let's kind of shake up the order, and we'll start with May. What's your pick this week, May?
My pick this week is got to be the Tim Holtz Distress Sprays. They just came in the mail, and I just started playing with them. It's basically like the Distress, but in a mist form now. So it's like entirely like making my dreams come true right at this time.
So that, What can you? Okay, so Distress has this ability to do cool things with water and to blend and stuff. So how does that work? How does that translate into the sprays?
Well, when you're spraying, like one of the things that I really want to do, and I'm waiting on paint to dry. I'm actually sitting here waiting on paint to dry. One of the things I can do is, like, for example, if I'm doing one of my mixed media projects where I paint, like do a lot of texture and then paint everything white, once it's dry, I could then come in with these mists and spray, and I'll get all these blended colors.
Huh.
So that's one of my favorite things to do, is make everything white and then just take and spray or color everything like a little bit randomly or parts of it randomly, so that there's just like these beautiful watercolor effects and like just color blended goodness. So that's going to be really fun once I get, like I said, once I get paint to dry. But also if I just wanted to create a background or create something with color that will be like blendable, blendable color that'll interact and make new colors and do all that fun stuff that Distress does, I've got it in spray form now. And the other thing that does is I also now have a fluid Distress medium that I can actually get to. And what I mean by that is, like, the Distress stains, the way that the lids are, you can't just pop the lid off real easy and get in there into the liquid.
Uh-huh.
You can just screw the top off of this and use a paintbrush.
Oh.
Or fill up a water brush with it and have like a Distress watery color type.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, and I know I'm just scratching the surface because I've only had them a couple days, but pretty much everything's revolving around those the last few days.
Do you
I think we saw the demo of that at CHA, Noelle.
No, the sprays are
It just
since
came out.
Yeah,
Oh, really?
There's been he has so many products that
Okay, so is this the same thing as the Distress spray stains? Is that the same thing, or is that different?
Distress stains is what you're thinking of, right? That you rub them.
It says Distress spray stain.
Yeah, but
on the bottle.
The spray part is what's new. It's the Distress. The Distress stain is now in a spray form, right?
I could have sworn we saw
I think
this.
it might be a different formula. Too.
Oh, is it? Okay.
I think the formula might be. I am not 100% on that, but it feels a little different than the stain to me, at least right now.
So do these blend in a way that other sprays don't blend?
Yeah, normal sprays, I mean, it depends. Everyone's different. Like the Dilutions mist, those sprays, those the way that those are made, they do blend. But I've also had mists where, if you get two different colors together, you just make mud.
Yeah, right.
They don't. It depends on their like chemistry and all that. So it's really neat. Like I had a pink and I had an aqua, and then there's like this aqua pinky purple color in the middle. Now there's like this really beautiful blending, and because if I'm squirting them, then like there's the splattery spots too. So
yeah,
I don't know. It's a lot of fun so far.
Cool. Izzy, you might be mixing like the Dilution spray with
probably
with the Distress stains.
Yeah, I remember the sprays. I could have sworn I remembered. I think maybe we shot video of the bottles up on the wall, but maybe they weren't out yet or something. No, I'm just hallucinating. It's those psychedelic mushrooms. Anyway.
The psychedelic mushrooms. That's funny. All right, how about Caroline? What's your pick?
My pick is an app called Perfectly Clear. I'm not I can do Photoshop, like the basic stuff. It's just I don't love to. But whenever I take a photo with my real camera, I take it into Photoshop, and the first thing that you do is adjust the levels, and then I always do a white balance kind of thing. Well, Perfectly Clear does that on your phone, which I think is great. So I will take a gram or just using my phone's camera, and then if I'm not perfectly happy with it, I'll load it into Perfectly Clear, and it takes a second. It's not the fastest app on the face of the planet, but it does this thing, and it shows the before and after, and it does that whole like, there's your dingy picture, and there's the one where we've brightened it up and made the whites white, and it takes those photos that need it and make them so much better. So Perfectly Clear is my pick for this week.
That's awesome. I wasn't familiar with this app, and I'm looking at it right now. It looks great. And I like
and there's tons of stuff that you can do with it. I kind of underutilize it.
Well, don't we all underutilize our technological
Stuff. Good thing you waited to come up with that word.
Stuff.
So I like that. I like this app also does the skin smoothing that we all benefit from. I like it because if I do skin smoothing, I don't have to wear makeup that day. So it's great. As long as all my photos are skin smoothed.
There you go.
Oh, you and makeup. That's hilarious. All right. Very nice. Thank you. And how about Vilna?
My pick is Great Papers Notes and Things collection. And I picked it because I think in the history of the world, this is one of those collections that is just made just for me.
In the history of the world.
I love it. I just absolutely love it. I bought everything in the collection and I adore it. The colors, the embellishments, everything. I love it.
Is that where that background paper with all the ampersands came from?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
All right. I just have to say your use of irony. I adore that. When you're, referring to pattern paper in the history of the world, and so you're making it epic, but also kind of making fun of the fact that you're trying to make pattern paper epic. That's awesome.
Thank you, Noel. Not everyone gets it. My humor.
I love it. Oh, all right. So that's the Notes and Things. Is that what that's called, from Crate Paper? Okay, so I know that I kind of made fun of the whole pick of the week thing last week when I picked, for the second time, a sheet of thickers, which I do really like that sheet, by the way.
Did you get any grief on that?
No,
Did anybody comment about your...
But I'm being 100% genuine by picking a sheet of letter stickers again this week. I really was surprised at how wonderful these letter stickers were because I ordered them from scrapbook.com. They're Heidi Swap with American Crafts, so they're sort of like thickers, but they're not technically thickers. And because they are a little different. They are these aqua colored, kind of a mix between mint and aqua, actually. Letter stickers. They're like puffy stickers, and they're so bendable, like they're so flexible. So the best thing about them, even better than the way they look on your page, is like how they feel in your hands. And you should get them for that tactile experience. And they're also shiny. So it's like this wonderful combination of tactile experience with this shiny. They have like kind of a retro, maybe 1920s almost sort of font to them. I don't know. Maybe somebody else who knows font better than me would correct me.
Noel, is it a puffy gloss stickers?
Puffy gloss, yes. Do you know what I'm talking about?
I'm looking at them right now. They look adorable.
They are. They're so cool. And I love that the O's are like a perfect circle, a perfect round circle. They're just so great. Anyway, so I'm being totally serious. I don't buy a lot of big stuff all the time. So I do buy a lot of thickers and letter stickers, and I love these. So check them out. They're pretty awesome.
They are pretty awesome. And I found them.
Awesome.
So you don't even need to send me the link, babe.
Good. Thank you. You're making my job easier.
Can I tell, I have to share a quick story. It's very, very quick, Noelle. Do I have your permission?
Yes.
It has to do with the irony.
The irony? Okay.
It has to do with irony because you were talking about Vilna's ironic stuff, and it reminded me of something that happened yesterday. Aiden, our 11-year-old, I'm sharing a family story in the middle of the show. That's okay. I don't care. Our 11-year-old, we're driving home, going through the neighborhood, and from the back of the van, I hear him go, "Wow, that's an ironic recycle truck." And I went, what? What? Why is it an ironic recycle truck? He goes, because of all the smoke coming out of the top of it. Can you believe that?
That's sharp.
How many 11-year-olds can detect
I know.
irony?
I think what throws me off is that he looks younger than he actually is. So he kind of blows me away with these things because he looks like a little kid still, but
I don't
he's
think
older.
most even like high school students understand irony. It's something you learn and you're kind of like, wait, I sort of get this. No, I don't really get this. And then moving into college, you need to, so that's pretty, I mean, if I can brag about our son, that's pretty awesome. I love irony.
Me too.
So.
All right.
And somebody like who can use it like Vilna and our son Aiden, that's just amazing.
Well, thank you.
Okay, so let's go around the table and let people know where they can find you and all your lovely awesomeness. We'll start with Caroline. Where can people find you?
I am at www.
Oh my gosh. I'm sorry, Caroline. You broke
say
up
that
again.
again.
Start over.
Skype gave out on you.
I'm at pouringoverpictures.blogspot.com, and pouring is spelled wrong. It's Pouring. It's not supposed to be spelled that way. Found that out after I started the blog, so yay me.
That's awesome.
And then I've got process videos that I'm starting to do on YouTube. There's only a couple of them up, but that links through my blog, and Instagram is through the blog, and the whole, just start at the blog and then you can go from there.
You know, if people ever comment on the pouring, you just tell them you were talking about embellishments and stuff like that. Pouring embellishments over pictures.
Well, I didn't know this, and one day I'm subbing at a different store. So I used to sell cameras, and I'm working with this guy who's going to law school, and he said something, you know, he looked over my shoulder and he said, "Oh, you've got a blog?" And I said, "Yeah." And he looked at it. He goes, "You spelled pouring wrong." And I went, "What?" And he goes, "It's Pouring." And I was like, "No, it's not." Duh, I went, fudge. So anyway, there you go.
That's funny. Oh, that's pretty. I'm sure you were like, yeah.
I'm like, all I could think, he's the only one that knows that. But now all your PRT listeners know that too. So if you're studying for the SATs, you're welcome.
That's funny. All right, May, where can people find you?
You can find me at craftwithmay.com, and links to social media, blog, YouTube, all that fun stuff is there. And on the episode, last time I actually got emails from people saying, "Thank you for adding that in. That was fun." So thank you guys for emailing me. That was cool.
Wait, thank you for adding what in?
For adding in a discount coupon. So I'll put a 20% off class of your choice coupon over there for you guys.
Nice.
Because that was cool. It was cool to get little emails about the episode, and nobody mean, everybody nice, like commenting nice things. So that was an extra special bonus for my day.
Oh, good. Nobody mean. Yeah, no, I mean, we mostly, like, we are very lucky for some reason. We mostly get nice comments, and sometimes if there's a little bit of criticism, they're usually said very nicely. So
Remember when we used to get like really bad stuff though?
In
the early days,
yeah, when we read them and they realized that they were going to be
people don't like to be publicly ridiculed, I guess, so they don't really send in the negative stuff anymore.
We would just read it and laugh, and then that stopped really quickly. So now everybody knows the way to kind of stop or filter out.
But to be fair, our show is like 10 times better than it used to be back then, too.
All right. So you're saying we just don't deserve criticism
But
anymore?
not anymore. We're above it.
But the psychedelic mushrooms, I know somebody is not happy. All right. Thank you, May. Did we cut you off, May? You got everything on there, right?
Oh, I think so. I'm short and easy.
All right. And how about you, Vilna? Where can people find you?
On my blog, vilnafirstenberg.com, I actually redid my blog. So it's brand new, beautiful. And I migrated from Blogspot to WordPress.
Yay.
So it's all new and sparkly over there. And then I don't do social media as much except for Instagram. I'm a very big Instagrammer. I absolutely love Instagram. So follow me on Instagram, and my username is Vilna Firstenberg.
If you like layouts with Vilna's colors, like the blog looks like her, it looks like that. You get that full Vilna Firstenberg effect. Thank you. You're welcome. Are you putting out weekly videos on YouTube now, or how often are those videos going up?
Every Wednesday.
Awesome. Okay.
Yeah.
And then don't forget also her class at Big Picture Classes, Art and Design. That's what it's called, right?
Yes, and it's starting this Thursday.
So sign up quick. All right. Izzy, where can people find you?
People.
Oh, bad timing.
Excuse me. Jeez. People can find me at izzyvideo.com, and I'm izzyvideo on Instagram.
And you can find me at paperclipping.com. We just put together an episode on layering white on white, which I love, but I've been especially into that lately. So we're doing white on white and all kinds of tactics and approaches you can take to layer white on white, and why you might want to do that. That's it for today. I think we're done. So thanks everybody for doing a little bit of extra work up front by having a layout for us to share and making it available. We will see you all next time at the table.